Though the Ukrainian foreign minister says he held a phone call today with one of Russia's closest allies. Today, he asked the Chinese foreign minister to use Beijing's ties with Moscow to stop Russia's military invasion of Ukraine. So far, China has refused to condemn Russia for its all-out attack on that nation, or even call the assault an invasion. Instead, the Chinese foreign ministry has repeatedly accused the United States of fueling the tensions with Moscow. But today, China's foreign minister said that Beijing was ready to help end the war in Eastern Europe. CNBC's Beijing correspondent Eunice Yoon is there tonight. Eunice, how does China plan to do that? Do we know?
Well, Shep, in a statement from the Ukrainian Foreign Ministry, the Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi assured his counterpart of, quote, China's readiness to make every effort to end the war on Ukrainian soil through diplomacy. However, the Chinese side doesn't appear to be as clear about their commitment to get involved. The Chinese readout says China has played a constructive role on the Ukraine issue. Ukraine is willing to strengthen communication with China and looks forward to China's mediation for the realization of the ceasefire. But the readout adds China calls on Ukraine and Russia to find a solution to the problem through negotiations. Now, the Chinese statement also avoids using the term invasion to describe Russia's attack on Ukraine. The Biden administration has been calling on China to use its influence with Russia to play a role to end the crisis. But the Chinese, though they have offered, traditionally hasn't stepped in to what they consider other people's battles. So Ukraine's direct call to the Chinese is really a test for China and its role in the world. The Chinese have been trying to walk a fine line, coming out in support of Russia's security concerns, but also calling for negotiations and trying to portray itself as neutral. Ukraine seems to be playing hardball, though, to try to convince China to really get off of that line to address Wang's concerns about the safety of Chinese citizens. The Ukraine Foreign Ministry said that their minister, Dmytro Kuleba, stressed the best guarantee is Beijing's pressure on Russia to stop the armed aggression against our state. Shep?
And Eunice, China began large-scale evacuations of its citizens in Ukraine, even as it refused to call what's happening in Ukraine an invasion.
Yeah, that's right, Shep. They did start the evacuation 5 days after Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The Chinese embassy has been hiring buses to try to ferry its citizens with police escorts by bus to neighboring countries. Yesterday, 200 Chinese students were evacuated from Kyiv, while 400 were evacuated from Odessa in southern Ukraine. Chinese authorities expect to get about 1,700 citizens out of Ukraine today. Now, according to Chinese state media, the Chinese embassy has been prioritizing the youngest students. Also, in terms of the overall numbers, the state media reports more than 6,000 Chinese nationals have registered to be evacuated. The embassy has been coming under heavy public criticism online here, Shep, for what's being perceived as a lack of preparedness and appearing to be caught off guard by the Russian attack.